Kainoa is a counselor at Mountain View Elementary, and I work at Hawaii Technology Academy, which is a charter school on 4 campuses.
Thanks, Miley. And while we started talking about what we wanted to do after watching a couple of awesome presentations on Seeds of Peace, we started reading about the Ceeds, and here's our link to why we did this.
Okay, so the why. What's the why? I know.
The why you and I decided to work together was we both work at public schools here in the state of Hawaii, but we're also on different islands. And we thought it might be kind of neat for some young students, 2nd, 3rd grade age, to meet another group of 2nd, 3rd graders on another island and to start making a connection, which is one of the C's from Seeds of Peace. We wanted students to learn about what connects us, what grounds us, what makes us be a part of a family. And we're going to educate other people the same age, other students. And it's teaching my students courage, because I think they're lacking a little bit of it since we've been distance learning for a year. That's our why here on the Big Island.
So here on Maui, I work at HTA, which is a 4 island campuses, and each of us are super unique. And this year we just moved to Kihei, which is kind of, I don't know, how do I be appropriate? Anyway, a lot of our population are transient. And so I felt like our kids weren't exposed enough to Hawaiian culture and that students weren't compassionate towards others. Like one student in particular is a Hawaiian immersion student that came in, and he's had a hard time meeting new friends. And then to add to the challenges, some of the other kids that we have on board are really just like, they're not mean, but they're not connecting. So anyway, that was my why.
So in the beginning, what we did was we went into our classrooms and we introduced the concepts of mokupuni, moku, and ahupua'a. So here is just like a little nice, I think a lot of you have seen this in the Hawaii classrooms. It's a nice poster that Kamehameha Schools puts out about what an ahupua'a looks like, which is the smallest of the land divisions. Moku would be a little larger, and then mokupuni would be like the island that you come from. So we pointed out where our school is, as well as what ahupua'a. So we started out looking at the entire island chain. Keep in mind that these resources are from Kamehameha Schools. They did give them to me. They're copyrighted. They are a bit outdated. They have since discovered through oral histories. So anyway, these are some of the things that we highlighted. So Maui is our mokupuni, and our moku is actually in Kula. Kula goes all the way down to the ocean, so Kula Kai, and ahupua'a is Waiahuli. And here's the Big Island.
Yep. And then our mokupuni is Hawaii, the island of Hawaii. Our ahupua'a is Ola'a. And we're in the moku of Puna, that's our district. And I pointed out that we also are a school that's only 15 miles away from an active volcano, Kilauea. Next slide. So we started this in late October. I went into my 3rd grade class and we talked about how we're gonna meet some cool new kids on another island, and we're gonna learn about our similarities and differences. So I read this cool little book about I Am Enough, and our students, next slide, Miley, our students were able to come up with things that we're awesome at and great at. And so of course we made a little jam board, but without using technology, and did Post-it notes and Scotch tape, which kids love. And we got to write all over it of what we are good at. And we found we have a lot of things in common with our own classmates here in Mountain View. And then we started coloring our maps, and one of the kids raised their hands and said, I don't want to give my map to my new friend on Maui. I want to keep it. So I ended up having to make extra copies so the kids could take home a beautiful map of the Big Island. Go ahead, Miley.
And then at that point, we paired up the kids randomly. Kainoa did like some kind of random name generator, and we made a big thing of it in each of our separate classrooms. So then we started the letter writing process. Gave them some prompts. It was kind of cute too, because like I didn't want to tell them that they all had to start out the letter saying dear. So I said, here are some different things you can say. So, and then as far as the ending, same thing. So we had some cute ones, like one little girl ended hers, ciao, you know. So here we are in this particular, this is at HTA, and what I had the kids do was put their names on a sticky note and then put it wherever they live on the island. And for the most part, they were pretty accurate. Definitely their moku they had correct, and almost all of them had their ahupua'a as well. So you can see that we're from all over the island, which is different than the big island. And next slide. So here they are again, writing their letters. Super cute stuff. We did, you'll notice we cropped out some names to protect the children, learning how to do sentence starters. More letter writing. This one I love on the left, super cute.
And if we have time, Miley, we can play this one being read, the one on the left.
Yes, yes. He has countless chickens. He made sure to mention that in his letter.
Yes. Drew some too.
So you can see some of these. And would that be this one on the left?
Yes, play him. Legend.
My name is Legend Edwin Legend. I live in Big Island on Eden Rock Road 819. I love animals. I love drawing video games like Subnautica and Minecraft. I live with my 8 cats and 1 dog. I have a pet spider, 22 pet lizards. I have 4 brothers. 1 is on a different island and 2 sisters, both on different islands. I'm 9 years old. I love going to the beach. My favorite color is gray. My favorite animal is a wolf. My favorite food is spaghetti. Greetings, aloha, Amelia, bye. Aloha from Legend.
Nice.
Definitely that kid is my spirit animal, because I love spaghetti too, and pets, and a pet spider would be awesome. So we have videos of the other students, but I'm gonna go to the next slide in the interest of time.
Yep.
Super cute.
Amelia, my name
Oops,
is
gosh,
Legend Edwin
okay.
Legend.
Technical difficulties.
Go ahead.
Yes,
not-
my name is.
The kids just want to read out loud. And this letter was what we sent out to parents before we started this and final journey, which is right now going on in the classroom, where our students will eventually get to meet face-to-face through Zoom on our school computers.
So we have come across with some difficulties. Obviously, COVID has put a big glitch into things. One of our teachers had to quarantine for, was it 10 days? It was earlier in the project. So that put things back 2 weeks. And then, so we were actually supposed to end this in December. Okay. So then we decided, well, I guess we got to continue it with the intent that our finale was going to be that first Friday we get back from school, because my students are only on campus 3 times a week, 3 days a week. And then boom, our charter school board decided that due to the raising of COVID cases, we were going to go distance learning for the first 2 weeks of school. So bummer, we didn't get to do the finale event, which the kids are really excited about.
So the kids were able to ask Miley about Maui. They had some amazing questions, like, what is your school like? How different is it? And one of the final questions, well, first of all, we found out Kihei Maui is very dry, like the opposite side of our island on the Big Island. We're on the rainy side. And so we have a lot of farmland. That's why a lot of us have animals. And then one of the later questions was, do you have bullies at your school? And so Mrs. Atai was awesome. She was just like, she's like, well, we have a few, but we nip it right really quickly. We listen, we find out what happened, and we teach the right thing, and we work through it and move on. So it was just cute. I mean, they have random questions at different times. Here, can we play
Let's
it?
see if it'll let me play.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
That we have.
So
Okay. All right. Fire away.
So
Ask
we
me
were going to
questions.
just give
Mia's
you
gonna
a
come
short
down.
little Snippet.
Oh my gosh, those are some big words. Yes, our students are learning big words. However, that's a great question because the class that you guys are writing letters with, they're actually a combined class of second and third graders. So their vocabulary is a little different for each kid, depending on what grade they're in. Yeah. Good questions you guys have.
Remember what it's called? Can you tell them the title of the school again, Miley? Is it
Hawaii. It's Hawaii Technology Academy, but we say HTA for short. Sure.
that River has?
So we had about, how many kiddos came up and asked questions? About 6 or 7 of them?
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Yeah. So that's probably going to be similar to what we'll be doing at the finale, where we'll have each child come up and meet their new hoa, their new friend. It's fun because they're already asking questions like, is he a boy or a girl? Or, how tall are they? And do they play football like I do? So we're really excited about this.
Right. Being at age 8, they're still not quite sure what else is out there. My Big Island kids, a lot of them were born here and they don't travel much. And then COVID hit 2 years ago, so they really aren't traveling at all, even off the island. But
our kiddos are kind of like the opposite. They're a little bit more affluent. And so they've been traveling a little bit. So it's such a great cross-cultural experience. Here they are meeting other Hawaii kids. Yes, they all live in Hawaii, but what different lives they lead, and all the similarities that they have too. So
we can open it up to questions since we're not complete with the process, but this is our action. Any questions?
A really awesome job, ladies. I mean, I really feel like, loneliness is not simply about being physically isolated, obviously, and your project helps to bridge, communities within our community and to help these young people to name themselves, have that grounded sense of place, but very importantly, also to not feel isolated. This is a beautiful project of connection and and recognition of our diversity, even within, the same archipelago, right? And culture. And plus the kids were really cute. My only sadness is I wanted to hear all of them read their projects of self. But thank you so much for doing the work.
Yes. And we actually didn't have very many, I had no parents complain about doing this project.
No, in fact, the opposite. I had a couple of parents, one that I know really well, the parent of the Hawaiian Immersion School student. She's like, this is what he needs, because he was allowed to shine, because he knew all the olalo, he knew all of the language that's used when you describe land divisions. So he was able to shine. And then the other one was another, a little mahalo letter that I got handwritten by a student. And she put on it, I love moku meats. And then, of course, she drew Seattle Seahawks, which she knew that was my favorite team. So it was like on my birthday, too. It made me feel so special that she really connected with that experience.